Alright, I'm gonna be honest. Erling Haaland is starting to scare me. And he should be scaring a lot of you guys too. We really need to start having serious conversations about the form that this striker is on. I mean, this guy is starting to become a threat to all your favourite records. He's about to beat Alan Shearer for getting 100 goals in the least amount of games in the Premier League, and many other records are going to be broken by this guy. Honestly, at this point, it feels like Haaland's playing player career mode on FIFA, and he's put the level all the way down to beginner. And also the person that he's playing against is his little cousin, who's 6 years old and can't speak English. And I'm saying this because currently, in all competitions, Haaland has 32 goals. At this point, it's not a hot streak. This is a glitch in the matrix. This guy is doing side quests, opening up YouTube channels, doing daily vlogs. He's taking over your favorite strikers' numbers, and also he's trying to rival Mr. Beast's numbers. He's coming for everyone's job. 32 goals in 20 games is pretty much 1.5 goals every single time he steps onto the pitch for the mathematicians out there, you get me? That's 14 goals in 11 appearances in the Premier League, 5 goals in 4 games in the Champions League, and 13 goals in 5 games for Norway in these little international fixtures that we've been having for the World Cup. All of that in the 2025/26 season alone. And according to those Opta guys that like to, put the greatest statistics out on the internet of all time, at this goal scoring rate and pace, he's on track to get about 95 goals if he plays 60 games this season. Will he do it? I don't know. I'm just putting it out there. That is nearly a 100-goal season, rivaling the likes of alien Smurf Messi. And this is Haaland that we're talking about, a guy that people were saying a couple seasons back that is washed up, dry. He looks like a League 2 player. He has completely transformed his game and has honed in on this idea of being the all-round striker in football, making arguments about him being compared to the likes of Alexander Isak be turned to dust. And those were arguments that I was even feeding into this time last season, making statements like Isak was the best striker in football, and honestly it looked like that for a while until this season. But where strikers have come and gone, Haaland has stayed through this period in time. From the time that he's walked into a Manchester City side, he has been prevalent and relevant. Relevant in a sense that he's there, an important factor in every single big game that Manchester City have had. And even in his off-season, he's still bagged over 25 goals. Let's also just dive into the fact that he's got 14 goals in the first 11 league games this season. And that means if he plays every Premier League game at this pace, he's going to finish on around 48 goals. And even if he plays his usual 33 games, he would still finish with 42 goals at this rate. Meaning that yes, he would beat his own record of 36 in the 2022/23 season. And he's doing this while averaging about 22 to 24 touches per game. These stats are generational. Like, you can't really compare them to many strikers in the last 5 to 7 years. I was seeing an argument online saying that Drogba had the best peak of a striker for his 2009 season with Chelsea, where he scored, no penalty goals and got a bunch of goals without obviously scoring penalties. But it just makes no sense to me, because penalty goal or no penalty goal, goals are goals. Haaland, he's done that many seasons. How many generational seasons has this guy had? Every season that he's participated in has been a generational one that has been record breaking. And even this whole debate of non-penalty goals via penalty goals, why are we acting like penalties are easy to score? Have you ever taken one? Even in a competitive match for your school, it's hard to score them, it's not easy. Sometimes debates like that are stupid when they include this non-penalty goal stat. Like, did you ever play football in your life? I don't understand. And let's just quickly zoom in on a few of Haaland's best games this season. First of all, with the game against Manchester United, where it was a complete training session for Manchester City, whilst also kind of being a therapy session for Manchester United centre-backs. First off in the game, he gets slipped through by Jeremy Doku and just easily chips the ball over the keeper. Then later on in the game, it's like he gets put through on goal via him being the last man. The Manchester United defence are just caught lacking. And in this situation, let's just pause it as the ball gets given to Haaland in this moment. Do you have any doubt in your mind that Haaland is not going to finish this opportunity? Look how far he gets the ball out. He has the entire half of the pitch to go through before having to go in a 1v1 scenario before scoring. And at that moment, as soon as he got the ball right there, on that halfway line, and he takes one touch, everyone just knew. Wrap the game up. Haaland had already scored again. And that's exactly what happens. We watch it through. Haaland is one-on-one with the goalkeeper and just finishes off with ease. Honestly, at this point, some of these things that he does in his game are just inevitable. It's like his game against Bournemouth as well. He just got 2 chances and killed both of them. With again, the first goal in the Bournemouth game being another bit of transitional play with Manchester City breaking the Bournemouth lines via, a header over the top. I think it was Ryan Cherky or Phil Foden, one of them. Anyway, Haaland, if we just pause it, gets put into a 1v1 scenario where he's again at the halfway line. And at this point in the game, in this position, do we have any doubt that Haaland is going to not score this? No, instantly you think goal. Like, it's simple. He's becoming that dangerous, that much of a robot in front of goal that's exactly what happens. He even utilizes his head to control the ball down onto his foot before carrying the ball forwards in a strides that look like, a horse galloping into the sunset. Like Haaland eventually shoots the ball and it goes into the back of the net and it's 1-0. Then again, after Bournemouth strike back to make it 1-1, it's Haaland put through against another defensive line that is way too high. Against guys like Haaland and Mbappe, you can't be playing high lines. Haaland is of a tier of player that if he's, given a high line to play against, he's going to abuse it all day. And in this occasion, again, he's done it again. Taking the ball round the goalkeeper in this opportunity and slotting it away. Then even in Europe, I've talked about some of his finishes, but he had a brilliant one against Napoli where Phil Foden did a brilliant dink over a Napoli defender before Haaland did an acrobatic finish. That was not easy at all. I know 19 strikers in the Premier League that would mess this up, but Haaland knew exactly what movement to do and put the ball in the back of the net. Then on a national stage, he's dominating with even more power. He's starting to put his nation on his back alongside the likes of Ødegaard for Norway. Sitting on 13 goals in 5 matches, he has been rampant, with a 16-goal haul in the World Cup qualifying rounds. Then against Israel, he scores a hat-trick despite missing penalties. And that goes back onto my point, non-penalty goals, penalty goals, who the hell cares? Imagine if he scored the penalties. We've got like 5 goals in this game too. And then if you want to say he's stat padding against Italy, he scores twice. This is not a side with bums in their side. It's just a side that's a bit dysfunctional with world-class players in a lot of positions. Right now, he's playing at an all-time rate, scoring about 333 goals in 375 games in all competitions. At the same age, Messi had about 299 and Ronaldo had about 175. And I know this is not correlating to the way they play, the style of play, the eye test, etc. But we need to start respecting Haaland and also being scared of his abilities every time he comes up against a big team. Even the likes of impenetrable Arsenal this season have suffered against Haaland, conceding. And it feels a bit different this year because Manchester City are playing more direct into him. They are now utilizing him directly. With the number of transitions, fast breaks, counter-attacks and just more direct balls into Haaland doubling. With Haaland's shot quality going up and his quantity. So yeah, Haaland is beginning to scare me and you guys should be scared too, but also defenders in Europe should be too. It's going to be a mad season and I hope that he can continue this trajectory of brilliance. You guys let me know what you think of Haaland this season and of course leave a like, comment, subscribe and peace.